Тайните служби са работили повече заедно, независимо от идеологическото и политическо противостояние на държавите. Такъв е характера на тайните служби. И сега, между другото, с колегите, когато общуваме, които са работили срещу нас, ние срещу тях, се разбираме отлично. Превъзходно се разбираме. Ако кажем така, професионал око не вади.
Точно ще го кажа това, но помислих, че вие ще го кажете.
We meet a journalist and state security informant who in 1992, while working on a film for the BBC, stumbled across a man who'd landed at Heathrow from Prague the day of the attack and who seems to have left immediately after it. This stranger must also have played an important role in Markov's murder.
Beside of Golino, if it would be in a team from 2 persons only, the other person would have to be the killer.
Yes, absolutely. Who was it? It was a person we met, a person who, by the way, it was a BBC reporter who actually brought the picture. There was a photograph of him coming into Heathrow Airport. And we had a picture of him, and we found a person together of this description, and we actually talked to him. We called him the woodpecker.
Who was it, this person?
He was a diplomat working in Sweden before that, who is clearly a member of the KDC. He was probably prepared for it. There was some way to prepare him. He went and did it. He was ready to do it. I mean, you have to be psychologically, of course, the KDC does a psychological test. Can you kill somebody?
Where is the photograph now, today?
I don't know. It has to be in the hands of the British Secret Service. Why they're not doing anything about it, I don't know. I gave it to the authorities. I gave it to the British police. I gave it to the Bulgarian police who investigated the thing. I think that there is something in the interrelation between Georgy Markov, the British Secret Services, and probably from there towards Scotland Yard, that makes it a kind of a state secret, and not wanting to actually show what the truth is, because there might be some other truth which none of those institutions want to touch upon.
We cannot check which parts of Beriano's statements are true, but even more serious voices deepen the suspicion that in the Markov case too many things are being covered up, including by the British, even today, more than 34 years later.
Имаше за нас очевидно оперативна информация, която е била получавана чрез наблюдение на резидент на българското разузнаване. Очевидно щеше да стане ясно за разсекретяване на техни действия като контрразузнаване по отношение на другото разузнаване. Всичко това разузнаванията и контрразузнаванията го крият, независимо от заявленията, които се правят на ляво и надясно.
He came in, like I mentioned, the day before or the same day, and then left very shortly, which means to us possibly he was in fact the assassin, or at least the one who brought in the weapon into London, and then recovered the weapon and brought it back out again. Coming in as a diplomat, using a diplomatic, whatever the word was, a diplomatic pouch, it would not have been examined.
Was about anyone they found, MI5 in particular, and or the police, surveying people in the Bulgarian embassy, say, either photographing them, was perhaps an agent in the Bulgarian embassy? Did they know some Bulgarian diplomat coming in the day before and then leaving the day after? Certainly, if anything of that came out in the open, that the British knew something, the British intelligence and security services knew something and didn't act on it, that would be a tremendous scandal, of course. So if it wasn't been for some individual outside the system, the story will not be solved, it won't be resurrected, the whole investigation, the scandal, the murder, the plot won't be pursued, certainly not by British government authorities or the police. Even if they, just on another case, of course, the poisoning of Alexander Litvinenko in London, 2006. So let sleeping dogs lie.
It's more than 20 years since the investigation was reopened. The fact that Markov's murder has not been solved is not only due to the destruction of the dossiers in Bulgaria and the continuing distrust between investigators from the two countries, but more to the fact that the secret services often place themselves above the law, even in democratic societies. Judging by their own criteria in most cases, they look upon any type of disclosure as an act of hostility and therefore act one-sidedly in their own interests and not for the good of society.